First, let me say how disappointed I am not to be able to join you in person at the Hydro 2012 conference. I am nevertheless delighted to have the opportunity to launch the Cultural Heritage session through this short contribution, and I hope very much that your exchange of ideas today proves to be both rewarding and enjoyable. Spain is home to a wide range of inspiring and hugely important industrial heritage. For example, one of the best places in the world to see industry combined with outstanding architecture is Catalonia, where the Science and Technology Museum's network of visitor attractions is a source of inspiration and a fantastic education resource, introducing our younger generations to the wonders of science and industry. I know from my visits to Catalonia that there are many parallels with Scotland, and it is clear that we share a common enthusiasm for our industrial heritage. But Catalonia is just one of many areas in Spain where industrial heritage is emerging as a major force. If, for example, you're interested in historic mining, you'll be aware that the historic mercury mine at Almadin, together with Idrija in Slovenia, has just been inscribed as a World Heritage Site. And there are other historic mining sites of international importance spread across the country, from Andalusia in the south to Asturias and the Basque Country in the north. Several of these are also working towards UNESCO World Heritage inscription. Closer to home, right here on the doorstep of this conference in Bilbao, is the extraordinary Vizcaya Bridge, Spain's first industrial World Heritage Site. There can be therefore fewer better places to hold a conference session devoted to the cultural value of industry than Bilbao. It is the cultural value of industry that I'd like to think about in particular in launching this conference session today. Now, you might think that an industry conference on hydropower is an unusual place to find a contribution from a cabinet secretary whose portfolio focuses on culture rather than energy. However, hydropower worldwide represents both cutting-edge industry and pioneering engineering in the modern day, at a time when renewable energy is at the top of the agenda. It also stands as a testament to the heroic achievements of the engineers, designers and labourers who worked on far-sighted programmes that transformed the face of countries such as Scotland, Norway, Canada and the USA from the late 1930s. However, hydropower is not a totally new area for me to engage with. Industry is a key part of Scotland's cultural identity, and none more so than hydropower, where in several instances world-leading innovations were developed by engineers and designers working in Scotland from the late 19th century onwards. I had the pleasure of visiting Ben Cruachan, a mountain in Argyll last summer, which was one of the first pumped storage schemes in the world to use reversible turbine technology. It is with these kinds of achievements that technology and culture begin to combine, and the Ben Cruachan scheme, where the engineers built 1 kilometre inside the mountain, is one of a number of buildings associated with the hydro industry in Scotland, which are listed as nationally significant examples of our rich cultural heritage. It is this legacy of the outstanding achievements of the hydro sector which has made countries such as Scotland, Norway and the USA synonymous throughout the world for innovation and skill in heavy engineering and technology. Their commitment to innovation has ensured that plants built over a century ago can still operate at the top of their field, continuing to provide clean energy, jobs and thriving communities. The recognition and tireless promotion of the cultural value of hydropower, in particular by colleagues from Norway and the USA, will be elaborated upon later in the session. There will also be contributions from further afield, which will include work in Costa Rica and Slovenia, all of which helps to demonstrate how hydro remains an integral part of our communities across the world. One of the key themes of all of your contributions you will hear is the need to continue the spirit of pioneering innovation, and that through the international exchange of ideas and good practice, the heritage of the industry can make an active contribution to the vibrancy of the modern day sector. The work of Tacoma Power, for example, in enthusing young people about engineering, and of the Norwegian Museum of Hydropower and Industry at TICCIH in helping people of all ages to regain an appreciation of the sheer effort behind the effortless act of flipping an electrical switch is vital not only in restoring pride to our industry, but also to engaging the next generation of pioneers who will transform the hydro sector in the 21st century. One of the aims of the Hydro 2012 conference is to consider how policy ideas can be turned into practice. This is just as relevant to this session as to those considering the design and funding of new schemes. The challenge is to capture the innovative spirit of those pioneering designers and engineers in Scotland and internationally who helped to shape our identity and who were able to make such a big impact across the globe. We can do this collectively by drawing on the very same qualities they exhibited in a wide range of fields, from manufacturing industry to the use of digital technology. In Scotland, innovation and skill has shone through in heavy engineering with internationally pioneering Scottish designed and built hydro schemes now recognised as a key part of our heritage. In order to do this successfully, working in partnership with the industry in an equally innovative fashion has shown how policy ideas can be turned into practical solutions in order to help balance the twin requirements of sites in active use, which are also nationally significant examples of our cultural heritage. I was pleased to launch a pioneering partnership management agreement between Historic Scotland and Rio Tinto Alcan in November last year. This initiative highlights the important contribution which the cultural heritage of the sector can make to its continued operation and the value of working in partnership to promote and maintain the industry. This spirit of innovation will continue to be required in Scotland, where the hydro sector is at the forefront of our ambitious targets for climate change, which include a statutory commitment to an 80% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by 2050 and that 100% of electricity demand will be from renewables by 2020. Scotland is also famous for having a global reach, and this is nowhere more evident than in the hydro sector, where our historic links with Norway, a twin pioneer nation, have produced some of the world's earliest and most pioneering hydroelectric power stations. The current renewables revolution is built on these foundations. Its success relies upon looking to our past, harnessing the accumulated experience from these achievements, and developing Scotland's position as a world leader. A revolution in the early 20th century placed Scotland at the heart of the international development of hydroelectric power worldwide. And our aim is to build on and continue this success and reach out to partners worldwide to help support this process. As well as a technical collaboration, there is a wider social and historic context to the partnership. The dynamism of the industry requires that other sections become equally energetic. The joint heritage of hydro in Norway and Scotland provides a unique opportunity to capture the spirit of innovation, to celebrate the achievements of the industry, and to motivate the next generation of pioneering engineers. It is in this context that Historic Scotland and the Norwegian Museum of Hydropower have been working in their own pioneering partnership called Digitising Heritage to recognise the joint heritage of our two countries. Digitising Heritage celebrates the contribution made by the two countries to the hydro sector internationally and is helping to put the pioneering achievements of the two nations into the global context, making our past work for our future. The initiative also makes use of Scotland's position as a leader in the innovative application of digital technologies to create a freely available web resource for users across the world. Renewable energy is a story of success, not only now but also historically. Success built on a pioneering vision and the commitment and skill of professionals working in partnership to achieve great things. We must ensure that this tradition is maintained and that we are able to continue to celebrate the success of the sector each and every time we switch on a light. With this aspiration in mind, I'm delighted to be able to launch the Digitising Heritage Initiative as the next step in this process.